late for Peter Obi to win the election. There is nothing that can change that, Rev. Okotie. The founder and general overseer of Household of God Church, Pastor Chris Okotie, has stated that it is already late for the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, to win the forthcoming presidential election. Speaking to BBC Pidgin in an exclusive on Tuesday regarding the chances of the former Anambra State Governor Okotie, said there is no structure in place at the moment for Obi to think about winning. According to him, despite the fact that a lot of young people are backing Peter Obi to win the election, there is nothing that can change. It gladdens me that young people in Nigeria are beginning to take their destiny in their own hands, but it is too late at this time. The young people that are making noise on social media, how many people are on social media? Practically nothing can change now. Perhaps in a few years to come, something might happen, Rev. Chris Okotie stated. Well, there are so many, personally for me, it's a very incomplete statement because we've gone past, really, we're taking action right now. And I think as Nigerians, especially the Nigerian youth, we've gone past conversations. We're all intellectual to bring out theories, social norms, social experiments, compared to governments in the past, other governments, other types of governments, and we can literally make all theories, social norms as to why Nigeria is where it is. So when it comes to having the conversation, we are done with that. Now it is time for action. And so if you're going to say something like this, well, it is too late for Peter Obi to win, well, what is your option? The fact that you haven't even given an alternative or an advice to the youth for what to look out for in a candidate that you believe is better, you don't do that. But then what you do is to say, well, practically nothing can change now. Perhaps in a few years to come, something might happen. In a few years to come, elections are next year. So when I say a few years to come, we still have to make a decision whether we like it or not. If 10 people vote and everyone sits at home, well, the 10 people will decide the fate of the rest of the population for the next few years to come. So waiting for the next few years to come, I think we have already learned, well, maybe not for this pastor, but we have already learned that waiting a few years to come is not, we need to be sure of our decision. We need to be sure of who we're putting in government. And it's just so what do you want us to do? You are comfortable. The youth are uncomfortable. You are grown. You've had your ministry. You are settled. But you have to understand that you are a pastor. Economically, you are in a higher bracket and you do have a bit more privileges than the average Nigerian. And so you may come and preach about grace, blessings, which are not lies, but the fact is there are problems that are just systemic because of the leadership. There is corruption institutionalized. There is impunity in the system. The system does not allow you to be great. Why is it that almost every Nigerian that leaves the country always does well, even if it's in another African country? Because again, the example is always abroad, we're talking, the Western countries. But anytime a Nigerian leaves the country, they are doing well. Why? It's not some spiritual problem. We know that leadership, infrastructure, industrialization, the purchasing power of an individual, human development, we are retrogressing with every election that we partake in. It is a problem. And for you to come out and say, well, again, I feel like we shouldn't really jump on okay, fine, I understand. For some people, it seems a bit, with the popularity and, the influence of Peter Obi, it seems like, oh my days, is he the only option? Well, you have a right to disagree and say, well, maybe I do not support Peter Obi. You can literally say that, and that is okay. But to say that it's too late for him to win, well, whose time is early for them to win? That is the question. And I think for somebody like him that is in religion, and let us not lie, he does. If you're in religion and you're a religious leader, you do have that influence. So if this is what your influence is going to do to make Nigerians still, because again, what he's literally saying is the usual talk of the past, literally. Because you're trying to say, let's sit down and see what will happen. Something might change. Something might come up. Excuse me. We want certainty, okay? And that is why when you want certainty and you are intentional, it is easy for accountability to exist. If you're out here just like, well, let's see what happens. That is why we'll always keep shifting the blames and never deal with issues. And never deal with issues at its core. That is the problem. That is, in itself, the problem. We don't deal with issues at the core. And with this same mindset that we've already had, sorry, sir, I'm not intending to be disrespectful, but this mindset has been the retrogressive mindset that has pulled Nigerians backwards. Even though listen, if the only thing increasing about you is your age is a problem. Yeah. If the only thing that increases in your life is your age, which is literally what Nigeria is, it is a problem. Because nothing else is. So really, I am very disappointed that he'd say that. Not just the fact that you can express your opinion, which is fine. You might just as well say, I don't support Peter Obi. Fantastic. But then to say that nothing will change in a few years, you have to make choices and decide that change will happen for change to happen. You don't just sit down and wait for something to happen. This is somebody that is a pastor that is meant to be preaching about constant growth, the renewing of the mind. This is somebody that your religion endorses constant change, constant growth. Criticism, growth, change. Not just change, but internally for individuals to be better. Because really, what is the church doing? If the church is not making individuals better, listen, as they say, the quality of a marriage is only as good as the quality of the people in it. Well, the quality of a country is only as good as the quality of the people in the country. So this is somebody that you can say should be the one training the flock, is the pastor of the sheep. But it's not giving that. It really isn't. And of course, this is why a lot of people, when pastors not even well-meaning pastors engage in political conversations, it triggers a lot of detest from people. Like, don't even speak at all. Because you have the right influence, but you use it wrongly. And not that you're coming for the pastor individually, but you're coming for the body of pastors in the country and how the religion itself is being practiced. Because really, if you're teaching these people these practical things to be successful and the application in life is not matching, there is a problem. Well, it is what it is. Put what you think about it in the comment section below, and do not forget to like and subscribe.